What up, what up, what up? It's your boy AD back with the second installment of our two-part series of making diets simple and sustainable. So last week I talked about the very basic principles of weight loss and how they work. Then I talked about the benefits of physical activity and how that helps you out, as well as the benefits of tracking what you eat. And then I gave you guys a basic tutorial on how to work the app that I like to use that took me down from 365 pounds down to 225, which I weigh right now. So if you guys want to see that video in full length, you guys can click the tag above. But if not, I'll just give you a brief synopsis of that. Pretty much how to lose weight is very simple, no matter how complicated we like to make things. If you're on a diet and you are losing weight, you are in a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit is when you burn more calories throughout the day than you consume. If you burn more calories throughout the day than you consume, you will be in a calorie deficit and you will lose weight. That is the basics behind weight loss. That is how everything works, no matter how complicated we like to make things. Next up, the benefits of physical activity is very simple. It's just not only does it help your body out, make it more efficient with its everyday activities. If you are on if you up your physical activity throughout the day, especially if you're not a physical person, you actually burn more calories throughout the day. So it actually allows you to eat more and still be in a calorie deficit. So everybody has a natural resting metabolic rate, which is the amount of energy you burn. So if I don't get off this couch today, I'm gonna be burning a certain amount of energy to just keep me alive. So when you actually add physical activity to your day, you're going to actually up the amount of energy that you burn throughout the day. So if you raise that, you can actually raise the amount of food you eat and you can lose weight. So if I'm a person that's right here eating, I'm right here eating, and I'm right here physical activity, and then I up my eating, but I don't up my physical activity, I'll be in a calorie surplus. Therefore, I'll start gaining weight. But if I actually up my physical activity to up here and I up my eating to right here, I'm still in the calorie deficit. So I've eaten more throughout the day, but my physical activity has gone up more. So therefore, I can still be in a calorie deficit and lose weight. So that's the basics behind adding physical fitness to your daily routine. It's just helping you with that. And also, when you start tracking what you eat, is you actually opens the door for what you can eat, and also basically you can see exactly where you go wrong. So if you're on these restrictive diets that you have these 8 food groups that you eat and they're working and stuff like that, but at the end of the program you're like, well, either A, it didn't work for me, or it wasn't as efficient in working for me as it should have been, or it was claimed to be, then you look back and you're like, well, I did everything that I need to do, and you're like, okay, but why didn't it work for me? Well, you have nowhere to really track at the end of this, 30, 20, whatever days that it has you on it for. But when you actually track what you eat, you can go back and say, look, on February 2nd through the 5th, I maybe not have had the greatest of meals. Then I looked at January and stuff like that. You guys can check it because you've been tracking every single day. So it actually allows you to see where the mess up happened throughout the day, and then you can say, okay, well, now I know where to fix it. And it also too allows you to stop being restrictive on your diet, because a lot of these diets are restrictive, so they're not sustainable at the end of the day. They're just like crash diets. Well, it makes you lose a lot of weight in the beginning, or it makes you lose a lot of weight, but it's not sustainable because your body's gonna wanna crave the other foods. And if you're not trying to make this a lifestyle, you're just doing this diet or this trend or whatever it is to lose weight, and it's not gonna be a permanent lifestyle for you, then it's not sustainable. So when you track what you eat, it allows your diet to be sustainable, because you can actually add the foods that you like to eat and couple it in with the new foods and stuff like that. Therefore, you're weaving everything, so you're getting to eat what you wanna eat, but you're also incorporating new things into your diet, where now you can just have freedom of eating what you want, but you're still losing weight at the end of the day, and you don't have to restrict yourself to the other diets. Now we're gonna jump into the real world example of where I took it from somebody that came to me and asked me how to lose weight. I said, track what you eat for the first week. I'm not giving you no advice right here. I'm not gonna tell you what to eat. I said, track every single thing that you eat for the first week, and then we're gonna go through it. So let's jump right into that part. So he sent a screenshot over of 3 days of him eating, so I inputted in here in the MyFitnessPal app. How I did it is basically what he was eating, and then how to fix it up. What he was eating, how to fix it up. What he was eating, how to fix it up. So ignore the dates. The dates aren't what they are, what they originally were. I just want to do this for the sake of this example. I set up his account where actually he lives an active lifestyle, but I said not very active, and I explained that in the last video. Pretty much you want to undershoot and over deliver versus overshooting and under delivering. What I mean by that that is if you're active, and you say you're active, but you're not as active as the system thinks you are, you could be overshooting it, where now you're in a system where you say, okay, I'm in the program following it, but I'm not losing any weight, and you're wondering why. Well, you're probably doing that because you're not as active, and it's, so what you're going to do is undershoot and then over deliver. So if you're active, say you're slightly active, just in case. So once we find out and you get in a rhythm and get into a system, you can actually manually input, manually change up the numbers and stuff like that, that it fits your needs, so you actually know exactly what you're doing. And I'll explain that in the end. So right now we're going to look at the first day, the system set up for him. 2007, so 2,207 as a goal, and his food, he actually ate 4,401, so he went over 2,194 calories. So now you can see why he was gaining so much weight is because he's eating whatever. So now we're gonna look at breakfast. You see right here, he had 1,276 calories. He had an apple fritter, Red Bull, spicy bite. So you had to put the hot dog bun, Hunt's ketchup, and mustard. So that's the thing, is when you're eating, you have to put in everything that you're eating, because even condiments add up. The ketchups, the mustards, the mayos, the barbecue sauce, whatever, that adds up. So you have to add that, and I told him add everything that he was eating. So he did pretty good at adding this. So you see right here, lunch he had 1,200. Went to Safeway, had some fried chicken thighs. He had one piece of that. Then he had some mac and cheese, and he had a leg, so he had a leg and a thigh. And you see right there, potato wedges, and then he had a Gatorade. And you can see the Gatorade is 200 calories, so that's just a wasted calories right there. So that's what he ate for lunch. And you see for dinner, the dude had a massive Chipotle burrito, and he was like double wrapping it, I see. So he had 1925. He basically had 2,000 calories for just dinner alone. So that's just showing you guys how much he was eating right there. So he had 2 tortillas wrapped in there, double chicken, black beans. He had extra cheese, I see right here. The salsa, the one thing of lettuce, sour cream, cilantro. So the white rice, he had double the rice, corn, and then he had basically some Simply lemonade at his crib. So that's what he was eating right there. So you guys can see kind of where he was going wrong right here. And if we look at the breakdown, I just hit the pie button right here. You see the calorie breakdown in the pie. That's what's going on. The nutrition facts. He went over in protein. Honestly, this is not a bad going over in protein. Going over 20 grams of protein is not very bad, especially if you're the type of person that wants to gain muscle, and I'll explain that a little bit later. But carbohydrates, kind of excessive right there. Fibers, right there. Sugars, not really too bad, kind of excessive. Fats, excessive. Then you got to go through the rest of this list right here. And then macros breakdown. So he has macros breakdown. He was supposed to get 40, 30, 30. And he had 48, 33, 19. So you can see it's not that good. But how we go from that to what he could be eating is, so we see right here, and this is what he could be eating with the same foods and everything like that. So we see right here, 2,207 is his goal, and we brought it down to 2,253. So it's only 46 calories over, which is not too bad, especially if you're an active person and stuff like that. So you will be losing weight, just 46 calories over. So we said right here, I don't like really Red Bulls and stuff like that, but you see that's what he wanted to eat, and I seen that was the consistent for him. So I said, okay, keep it, add the Red Bull right here. Add the Red Bull, so he's keeping that. He had the spicy bite again, he had the mustard and the ketchup, but he cut out the apple fritter, and that was the big thing right there. He cut out the apple fritter and actually just added Greek yogurt from the Greek yogurt piece, or Chobani, whatever it's called, Chobani Greek yogurt that they have at 7-Eleven. And now he went from that big portion that he had for breakfast to 676 calories for breakfast, which is a big difference from what he was eating. Next up, we seen that he went to the deli, the chicken cafe at the Safeway, and we said, look, instead of doing that, just go to the cafe and just get, you know, baked chicken. I know you like chicken, but get the baked chicken. There's a reason behind it. It gets you more calories, less fat. So you'll see right here, we had the signature chicken, and then he cut out all the macaroni and cheese and stuff like that, and we said the Cliff Bar. So we went there and said, do you like Cliff Bars? I said, yeah. So we put in Cliff Bar, had a Gatorade, since he likes to always have something with his food, not just water. We're gonna put Gatorade with it, and I said, let's get a zero sugar Gatorade for the time being. And then we had a banana. So I know a lot of you fitness experts and you nutritionists stuff, oh, that's bad for you. This is just the beginning, I understand it. And now we have dinner right here. Went to Chipotle again, but this is how you can clean it up. Now we got rid of the tortilla, and we're gonna go with the chicken bowl. So we're just gonna have the chicken bowl for right now. And this is how you can clean it up. 795 calories right here. So we had the chicken, double chicken, kept that right. Instead of having, you know, double portion of rice, we just had the regular portion of rice, the regular lettuce, fresh tomatoes. We had some cheese, it had some beans in there, and we cut out the sour cream. Sour cream is cool, but we just cut out the sour cream right there. If you want to, you can cut out the cheese, add sour cream, or anything like that. But that's just showing you guys how to really make this a more healthier, balanced diet right here. And now you can see right here the breakdown of the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, where the calories came from. Next up, we see 179 grams of protein versus 165, so 14 grams over. Not bad at all. Like that, actually love it. That's the intention of doing this. Carbohydrates right there. Fibers bad. The fiber's not bad, but it's could be better. Sugars not too bad. Fat not too bad overall. It's overboard, but it's not too bad. Now you can see just how much we switched it up versus the last thing that he had. And then macros right here, we just see right here, he went 38 to 40, 31, 31. So that's pretty balanced right there. And you can just show right there from where he was at to where he's at now, which is so much better, where he's still eating some of the foods that he likes, just in different ways, different stuff like that. So now we're about to jump right into the next day. So this is what he ate versus what he ate. So breakfast, he was on the road. He said he didn't have anything that day. He was just going he was like late for work or whatever the case may be. He was late, so he only had this Red Bull that he grabbed out the crib, and then he just kept going. Now that's a problem, because you do need to, especially with weight loss, you don't need to starve yourself in this weight loss. You do need to have some food, but say whatever, it happens to everybody. They're late for work, they're late for work. So right here he had 1990 for lunch. And you see right here he went to Subway, had chicken, bacon, ranch on Italian herbs and cheese. That's the Subway he had right there. He added extra ranch dressing, so we already add that to the calories, but he had extra ranch dressing. He had 2 cookies. He added some honey mustard to it, some olives. He had a Coke with that, and then he had some barbecue chips. Now you can see where that kind of goes off right there. And now we're going to dinner right here, as you see, 1703. So we had some fried chicken, some homemade fried chicken. He had 3 drumlet sticks right there, and he had some macaroni and cheese. Made some homemade macaroni and cheese, so you have to add the whatever type of macaroni and cheese it is. He had the cheese. He had 2 potatoes with it. He had some lemonade that he had at the crib, and then you add some milk, because you're putting some milk into your macaroni and cheese, then into your whole thing. So you have to add the macaroni and cheese into that. So now we're gonna look at the pie breakdown right here. So right here, he didn't even have the 165 grams of protein that even the goal that he has. He's underneath that. Carbohydrates are over, fibers, you see where it's at, sugars. You guys can just see where the rest is at right there. And then we look at the macros. It went from 40, 30, 30 to 53, 31, 16. So overall, it wasn't a good day, and he went over his protein goal by 1596. I mean, over his calorie goal for 1596. Now what we did is change it up right here and say, look, you got to figure it out. So we're just going to play around with it. So now he's only over calories, 59 calories. He's still going to be in a calorie deficit, especially with his physical activity and how it was with the factory and is with being in the warehouse and stuff. You see, we said, look, get that breakfast in. You have a hot coffee, say that, put a sugar packet in it, get a banana, and then some beef jerky. This is some stuff that you can take with you. This is not necessarily something that you have to cook in the microwave, especially if you're late. This is just bam, grab, and go, and you're out the door. Especially this is something like here, the coffee and stuff, you can just go get that at 7-Eleven. Like you can see he went to 7-Eleven beforehand. Just grab that coffee at the 7-Eleven or something, whatever it is. So you go to lunch right here. Go back to Subway. Instead of having 17,000 calories or whatever it was for lunch, you go right back to 1,000 calories. You just have your steak and cheese sandwich right there. And if you want to get some chips, just get the baked chips right there. It's not too bad. Light mayo, instead of having the regular mayo, add some light mayo. So you double that, tablespoon 100, and then get some water. You don't always have to get a drink with your stuff. Get some water, get some stuff in your system. Do it that way. And then next up we had dinner. He had, instead of having fried chicken, we said, hey, switch it up, have 8 ounces of chicken breast. So that's about 2 chicken breasts in a little bag. Said switch it up, russet potatoes, do it that way. And then you can still have your macaroni and cheese, but just not have so much. So you see how we took it down from like 3 servings of macaroni and cheese down to just 2 servings right there. I mean, just 1 serving of macaroni and cheese, and you add that in there. and that is how you go. So then we look at pretty much the nutrients part of it. Protein goal over the protein goal by 8 grams was pretty good. Carbohydrate goal at 44 grams, not too bad. Fiber goals, sugar goals, fat goals. You see all that right there. Honestly, it's not too bad for the day. And then how it balanced out, it went from 40 30 30 to 48 21 31, which is not overall a bad goal to really go over your protein. Your fat goal, you can be under or meet, so it's not too bad. This is really good. So that is just showing you guys the breakdown of how he could have went from what he ate to this, and then it would have been so much better. Now, granted, it's less food, but you still get to see where you're going to the same spots eating, and you're still getting to eat. Next up, this is the last day. We're just showing this part right here. Breakfast, he has his Red Bull, so we're gonna have this, put that in there again. A Red Bull, he had apple, and then he had basically these Nature Valley bars, so he ate that, 395 calories. You see right here, lunch, he had went to Wendy's, had a Baconator, a large fries, and a large Coke. So that's 1610. So you kind of can see is like this stuff adds up quick. And then dinner, he had a steak, so sirloin steak, 8 ounces of steak. He had some the macaroni and cheese that he had before, so he did that. But you can see he had 3 servings of the macaroni and cheese. And then he had some lemonade, Hawaiian punch lemonade, wherever that is, the red Hawaiian punch or whatever. And you guys can see how that breaks down in there. So you guys can see his calorie breakdown, right here, and how that worked out. You see the nutrients. So he didn't even meet his protein goal at all. He made his carbohydrate goal. Fiber, sugars, fat goals over, and sugars are way over. You guys see that. And then yeah, and then you look at macros that we were looking at before. It's supposed to be 40 30 30. It went 58 28 14. So you can see right here, he's not even getting his proteins in, but yet he's still 1459 over his calorie goal, which is, that's how you lose the weight, is if you're just in calorie deficit, you can lose weight. Next up, we see right here, this is what he could have done, and I believe this is the last day right here. Yeah, so this is the last day. He only saved me 3, and this is what he could have done with the same stuff. So have your Red Bull, cool. I'm not much of an energy drink person, I'm not too against it, but there's people that say against energy drinks. Cool, add your Red Bull, but instead of that, have an apple. Have your Nature Valley bar too, but then add like a Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl right here. So it's a turkey sausage bowl to that. You could add that to it. That's only 635 calories versus what it was in the lunch. I mean, what it was at breakfast. You go to lunch, instead of going to Wendy's, instead of getting a Baconator or something like that, there's healthier options at Wendy's. Go there and get 2 grilled chicken sandwiches. So now you're getting 2 grilled chicken sandwiches. Cut out the fries and just drink a water with that, bro. So we did that, and now we cut that, whatever it was, 1460 or something, down to 700 calories for lunch. Now you get to dinner, you can have your steak, which you already did, have the rest of that macaroni and cheese, and then you can have, instead of 2 potatoes, have 1 potato, and then you get some water with that. You put all that with it, you're doing pretty good right there. So overall, you can see how overall, just changing up what you're eating in different amounts, you're still eating the same foods that you want to eat, but you're not, you're pretty much losing weight because you're strategically planning out how you want to eat throughout the day, and still get to touch the food you want, but maybe not in the portion sizes. So it's pretty good right here. You guys can see the calorie breakdown and stuff like that. And then you guys get to see right here, 168. So he's right there at his protein goal. Carbohydrates a little bit over, but not too bad. Fibers, sugars, you guys can see right there. Fats. Overall, this is like a balanced diet right here, and you guys can see it. He went from 40 30 30 to 46 24 30. Like I said, it's good to have a higher protein than fat. So if it has to be a pie like this, it's not a bad pie at all, especially if you're trying to get muscle. So overall, that is how it's set. That's how you can basically substitute foods that you like to eat into the diets that you want to have and still lose weight. So that's just giving you guys an example on how you can utilize the system where you can track everything that you're eating, and utilize the system where you can make this sustainable. Because you can see right here, although you're maybe not eating the same amount of food you want to eat, you're still getting to touch the same foods that you want to eat, thus making this more sustainable, making everything simple. Once you track everything in here in the system and stuff, it makes it very, very simple. There's no guesswork into it. You don't have to limit yourself, so it's sustainable. That's the best thing about tracking what you're eating, and that's what I preach, is track what you eat, and this makes this whole thing sustainable and good. So overall, that's it. I do want to put this up here right quick, so I am going to go back to the diary, go right here to go to home. We're going to go to goals, And this is the type, so right here, this is what it looks like. And I played around with the numbers, so he gave me his starting goal right here. So his starting weight was 265. Current weight is 215. He said he weighed about 215, 220. Goal weight is to get down to 190, lose 1 pound per week. And I said lightly active, like I said. If you wanna, so basically when I said lightly active, although he's an active person in the beginning, this is what I mean. So when I say you can better to basically undershoot and over deliver. So now that he has everything that's going on with his plan, if he really wanted to and figure it out, he can actually change this, manually change it. So I just clicked on the calories and it has 2,207. That's what the system put in there. But if I really wanted to, I could still I could put 222 in here if I wanted to and play around with it. And you guys can see right there, I can take the carbohydrates, and this is actually what they do. They actually set you up when you click on that macronutrients. They set you up with 50, they set you up with 50, 30, 20. And that is okay and all, I guess, if you're just focusing on losing weight, but that's not what we're focusing on here. So if we're focusing on just losing weight, this is cool. Keep it at the 50, 30, 20. And if you don't know how to change it, just that's the manual settings it saves you at. When you're trying to lose weight and gain muscle, you want to have a high protein diet. So when you're in the system and you're changing up the system, this is what they naturally give you, is the 50, 30, 20. But if you want to change this up, you can really change it up. You can go 50, 40, 30, 30, and have it like this. So now it takes your original protein goal from whatever it was down to 167, wherever your main one was. And that is what we're trying to work with there, is just being that. So even if it says 167 protein goal, since he weighs 215, I would actually suggest a person that's trying to gain muscle and lose fat to actually put your stuff up where it says 167, but you're trying to get 216 grams of protein a day, or 215 grams of protein a day, or 220 for whatever. So for me, for example, my protein goal, it says on there, get 187 grams of protein per day, but I actually naturally get about 225 grams of protein, 230 grams of protein every day. And I want to overshoot that because when I'm breaking my body down with working out and doing all the stuff I do daily, I still want to have a lot of protein, and I'm gauging it based off of the 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight when you're trying to build muscle. And that's what I like to do. So I'm over delivering, super overshooting my protein goal that it says in the system, but it's because I want to make sure my body's getting the right nutrients it needs to basically refuel itself, especially with everything. So any protein that my body doesn't use, I can just literally piss it out, or boo-boo it out, whatever it is. I'd rather have enough protein where my body's like, okay, we have access, get rid of the rest, versus saying we don't have enough and I start losing weight, because I am trying to gain muscle, and I'm not really focused on losing weight, but I am trying to gain muscle right now. So that's what I'm doing with my proteins and stuff like that, along with my calorie setup. So anyway, that is a real world example. That is the first 3 days that he gave me, and that is how you can change it from what he was eating to how you could be eating and still eating the same amount of foods. I hope you guys took something from this. But anyway, before we leave, you know what I'm gonna have to ask you to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notification, as well as share it with your people. I'm trying to grow this 80 Fitness family, and the way we can do that about more I see in the video. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.